I'm making the first energy drink in the world designed strictly for creatives. Imagine a Red Bull level brand that creates energy drinks for people who work with the mind and not the body. A company that would sponsor musicians and entrepreneurs, a drink that would stimulate the mind while relaxing the body so you can sit down for long periods of time and get amazing work done. I'm calling it Void Energy, and this is a company designed for the new age of opportunity, for this next generation of kids making millions of dollars online, becoming famous musicians, entrepreneurs, gamers, content creators. There's no boomers at the head of marketing, there's no corporate bullshit. All of this is self-funded by me, so there's no investors that are making me make weird decisions. Void Energy is designed by creatives for creatives. And I'm gonna be documenting the entire process of taking this idea all the way up to $1 billion evaluation. Just to even remotely explain how insane it's gonna be to reach $1 billion valuation, let me break down the yearly earnings you have to get to that point. For Void to be $1 billion company, I'm gonna have to sell $100 to $300 million worth of these drinks every single year. At the high end, that's $27 million every single month, almost $1 million a day. I asked ChatGPT for a breakdown of what that would look like, and it told me that 85% of that income is gonna be coming from retail. Supermarkets and massive retailers like Costco, Walmart, Target should be bringing in $166 million a year. Convenience stores and gas stations should bring in $83.5 million a year. I honestly think ChatGPT's off there. I would assume that convenience stores would outsell supermarkets, but maybe I'm wrong. Next, specialty retailers like gyms and health stores will probably bring in like $33 million a year. Another $33 million a year will be coming from Amazon, and around $16 to $17 million a year from your personal website sales. Obviously, all these numbers could be completely off, but basically every place that you sell your drinks, you need to be doing $1 million a month in sales. And your top retail locations should be bringing in $13 million a month. So why on planet Earth do I feel like I can accomplish this? And I'll be honest, I don't in the slightest, but I am still gonna try anyway. And that's a perfect segue into the slogan of the company, Enter the Void. Entering the Void is exactly what I'm doing through creating this company. Entering the Void is basically taking the first step on a journey that you don't even know if you can accomplish. It's the starting phase of the hero's journey in every single movie you've ever seen. It's doing what scares you the most, betting on yourself, taking that risk, and going on a journey towards the path of your own dreams, no matter what anyone tells you. Entering the void is essentially jumping into a black hole. You have nothing to reference. You're surrounded by the unknown, by your fears, your doubts. You leave behind everything you think you know. You essentially kill off the old version of yourself and consciously recreate a new one. Entering the void is what it takes to become successful. There isn't a single person who's achieved insane things that didn't enter the void. Now, similar to Nike's Just Do It, Enter the Void is going to be our slogan that encourages people to go on that journey, to enter the void, to take the risk, bet on themselves, and live a life that they consciously create, not just taking whatever life throws at them. The way that I see Void Energy at its $1 billion valuation, at its peak level, is essentially the next Red Bull. This drink is for creatives, for visionaries, for people who are constantly creating the life they desire, and they have a vision for themselves. They have a dream, and they're holding that deep in their heart and betting everything they have on that coming true. Void Energy is for people that are entering the void. Now, the goal is to position Void Energy as a premium energy drink that's motivational and inspiring without obviously like a ridiculous price point, but this is a nootropic-based energy drink, which means that it has very expensive ingredients in it. And most importantly, these ingredients are gonna be at their clinical dosage, which is pretty hard to fit all of that inside of a small drink. You only have a limited amount of water to work with, and if you have a bunch of different ingredients at 1 gram doses or 500 milligram doses, it's hard for sediments to not build up in it, and that's why a lot of drinks do what's called pixie dusting. This is where drinks will advertise that they have ashwagandha in their drink, but they don't really say the milligram amount, so it's probably like 2 milligrams in there, when for you to feel ashwagandha, you need like 500 milligrams. So that's the biggest thing with Void, is having the best ingredients we possibly can at their clinical dosage. So when you drink it, you actually feel the effects that we're going for. With that calm body, elevated mental state, and we're even putting in nootropic ingredients in here that will help you manage your stress and regulate your mood. Because let's be honest, if you're going on this hero's journey and you're betting everything on yourself and trying to create this vision of a life, it's gonna be really hard, and you're gonna be going through endless challenges, and you need something that's gonna help you calm down and manage those things while still getting the caffeine and energy that you want so you can get some work done. All right, how do you build an energy drink? I'm gonna be honest, it seems pretty easy. Maybe you understand the complexities, but it's really hard. Let's go through the list really quick. You have to create your brand name first. You have to do trademark research, making sure the name is available. You have to file for trademarks, purchase domain names. And just on those 4 things alone, I think I've spent probably $30,000 to $40,000 just on that. Then you have to design your logo, create your brand image, and really understand what this look and feel is going to be. I spent another $20K on that, working with a very high level design agency, which was kind of a shitty experience, I'm not gonna lie. Then you have to find and choose all of your active ingredients so the people that are drinking the drink actually feel what you want them to feel. Then the very hard part is you have to go to a formulation company that's gonna get all of those active ingredients and make it into a flavor profile that's actually good, which is very hard when you're working with some natural ingredients that come from roots and they just taste like shit. That's another 10, 20K minimum. I've spent like 30K on that, and I have to spend probably another 10K doing it again because I did it in 2022. And again, that experience wasn't great as well. Then you have to design your can. This is actually very hard because if no one likes your can, it's never gonna get picked up, no one's gonna check it out and read it, and your retail potential to actually get sales is going to be non-existent. Then you have to locate can manufacturers and get samples to make sure the drink looks how you want it to. Then the very hard part, you have to find a drink manufacturer that is willing to work with you that doesn't have ridiculous MOQs, which is minimum order quantities. Then you have to pay an FDA attorney to look over your drink design and make sure that it's compliant. Then you have to spend an insane amount of money ordering all your cans, all the can lids, the pull tabs, the ingredients, the wrap that goes around it, or if it's a printed can, you have to pay for that as well. You get all your different components, ship it to your manufacturer, they make the drink, and that costs an insane amount. But then you're not done because now you have like 200,000 drinks and you have to figure out where to warehouse them, where to ship them out to, and shipping expensive liquid is not fun. It's very heavy, the prices are ridiculous, and logistics behind all of this is a nightmare. So your only hope is to sell on Amazon and get enough sales through organic marketing or paid advertisements so you can present those sales to retailers and hopefully get a chance inside of grocery stores and convenience stores. Then after all that, let's say you've accomplished all of that, you're selling maybe 1 million drinks a year. Now it's time to actually partner with a distributor that's gonna take care of all of your back end and help scale your company to insane heights with their retail connections. This is companies like Pepsi, like Dr. Pepper, Keurig. They buy a lot of smaller energy drinks, let them use their distribution systems, and then they can scale them up and get the equity valuation of the company sky high within like a couple months. So that's the goal. That's kind of the framework ahead of me. And to get to that point, you have to be spending at least like $4 or $5 million, and you're gonna be spending $1 to make $1 for a very long time, probably until you partner with a distributor. And the hard part about this is I'm self-funding all of it. I'm not taking on investors. I might have to in the future, but I wanna own as much as I can of this company so it doesn't turn into something that I don't want it to be. That's the case with so many energy drink companies. This business model is just very old. It's very corporate. It's very boomer-esque. And I'm trying my absolute best not to turn into that. So going on this journey by myself as someone who's never done it and is self-funding it is so ridiculously risky, it's not even funny. So where am I at with Void Energy right now today? Quickly, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a backstory because I actually started this brand in 2022 and I had the vision for it in like 2020. I was making content documenting the process of building Void Energy on Instagram and TikTok, and we had a lot of followers, like 100,000 followers on a single account. We're getting millions of views, everything was going great, and then the rude awakening happened of realizing how insane this industry is and not having enough money to actually take it seriously. So I put everything on pause, went all in on my businesses, and made millions of dollars. And now I'm at the point where I can actually make this vision become a reality. So let's dive into everything I've done so far. We have our trademarks pending. We have our logo, brand design, domains, all the legal stuff is organized because there's a lot of legal structures we had to do as well. We have our can design essentially done. There's still some small tweaks we're gonna make. And we're beginning our formulation process again for like the 3rd or 4th time. And I might have just locked in a private connection with an in-house team that can do the formulation for potentially free, which is massive because these guys are very experienced and they're gonna let me take my time and really go through the process of making sure this flavor is amazing, because it's gonna be a classic thing just like Red Bull. And yeah, if you don't like that flavor, you're not gonna like the brand. So it's gotta be perfect. I also might have a private connection to some of the manufacturers that are in Utah as well that can actually make the drink. So we might be able to do like everything local, which would be huge. If we don't go local though, there's also a potential partnership on the line where I think I would have to cut equity, but it's with a massive manufacturer that basically brought Olipop to life, which again, that's a huge opportunity, but I don't know if I want to cut equity this early because the evaluation would be awful. And I think I can get to the point where I need to be by myself. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, that's where I'm at with Void Energy. I'm praying I don't go broke trying to do this because that is pretty likely. But in the end of the day, this is a passion project. I'm betting on myself. I want to have fun with this journey and I want to create the next Red Bull level company, but for people who work with the mind. I think the vision's there. I think this is something that is very possible, even though the likelihood is so low. So if you want to come support me on this journey and be a part of it, please check the description of this video. I'm going to have a link where you can come join our Discord. This is basically a company Discord where you can come in, share your ideas, get all the live updates from me, and help us build this brand. This is the only thing I ask of you guys. If you believe in this, if you want to be a part of the journey, please come join that Discord. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.